In this episode of Bulldog TV, we talk about a chemistry experiment.
And the importance of the ACT.
Bulldog TV starts now. To Bulldog TV, I'm Ivette.
And I'm Raul.
Graduating high school is a big goal, but do you know what you're going to do after? Cynthia Blanca have produced a PSA on the first step you need to take to prepare for your future.
I have such high hopes for the ACT prep students. This is so important for their lives. It's the beginning of the next step. I always remember how my teachers told me to take the ACT seriously. High school got real this last year. So many responsibilities, so much work, and it's all up to me. My choices affect everything in my future. Luckily, I've been helped with so much advice from my mom and teachers, and even better, I decided to listen. It's led me to my success. I'm so excited to go to school in Chicago. There's great opportunity there, and many good things could come from it. Oh yeah, and there's a lot of pretty girls. Wait, oh boy, I forgot about my friends. Shout out to Lenny Kronchik and the Diamond Cutter. I'm so happy I surrounded myself with the right people. They've always been positive through struggles, stayed focused on their studies, and challenged themselves to achieve their potential. I just wish all the other kids learned this lesson sooner. We're at such a monumental time in our lives, everything we do is so vital. We've got to make the most of it while we can. Underclassmen, take the ACT now and get ready for college, seniors. Guys, get it together, open your eye, and progress into a new age for Springdale.
Don't forget the next ACT date is April 12th and the deadline is March 7th. You can also take the Compass exam. To find more information about both tests, stop by the Counseling Center.
Saving money is hard and complicated, but here at SHS we have a class that can help understand the ins and outs of it. Marco and Kevin tell us more about personal finance.
Have you ever had trouble saving your money or keeping track of it? Most of the times you don't even know what to spend your money on. Are you always having to bust open your piggy bank because you don't have any money left in your pocket? Personal finances. It shows you how to deal with money in the real world, shows you how to save it, how to start bank accounts, or even what to spend it on and how to invest.
Well, it would help you a lot because when you think about personal finance, pretty much every one of you guys, every one of us, anybody going to school, anybody living is going to have some kind of use for this class. Because if you're going to make an income, you need to know how to utilize your money, how to budget, how to balance your checkbook, how to invest your money, how to save your money. And this is for, as long as you live. So as long as you live, you're going to need some kind of income to live on. And finance kind of helps you get in a position where you are able to not only get that money, but at the same time be able to stretch it to whereby you can live a comfortable life. In this class will teach you how to save, how to invest, and how to make money. This class pretty much clears a lot of doubts, and it brightens a lot of ideas that we don't really think we have a clear view of. Like, for example, lessons like credit. A lot of people get in debt because they end up having a whole lot of credit cards, borrowing just because they can. And in this class, we try to put a stop to that, or at least set a really good, clear picture as to why you don't want to be in so much debt, and how you can avoid being in debt, how you can live like anyone else without having to go in debt like everyone else. So there's a lot of lessons in there in that way.
If you have trouble saving money, personal finances is for you. This has been Marco Rojo with Bulldog TV.
Don't forget, CAP conference are just around the corner. So if you are interested in any class, make sure to sign up for it.
Have you ever thought about having a career as a child care provider? We have the perfect class for you, Child Care Development. Brenda and Jesus have the scoop on the class.
Child Care is a class offered at Springdale High School that teaches many skills towards a relationship between kids and adults.
Child care management is a block class. It's first and second hour. It's a 2-hour class that we spend 60 hours on site in a child care center, and then we have 120 classroom hours. They get CPR certified and they get a certification from the State Department saying that they are ready to go work in any child care center. It's a great class for people that want a job while they're furthering their degree in college. It's a great job for anyone right out of high school to get.
Students have the opportunity to interact with the children.
We learn to work with children not only inside, in the actual classroom, but we actually get to go out and experience hands-on what it's like to teach.
We learn how to put together lesson plans for young children, probably like age 6 to, or like 3 to 6. 3 to 6 is and we do lesson plans and we get to teach them to the whole class just like we would do in a classroom setting.
This class offers many opportunities after high school.
We got a literacy mentor grant, and that actually encouraged us a lot, but it also helps because the children need to be encouraged to read and to learn how to read.
Our students are hopeful of making a difference with each child.
It feels pretty good. They were all really excited, told us that those were the only books they wanted. They're just really happy to open them.
One of the greatest moments of the day are seeing the smiles on the children's faces.
They were all so excited, and just seeing them so happy made us really happy. Some of them would say things like, "Oh, this is the best gift ever, this is my favorite book," and they wouldn't have opened like one page of it, and it was already their favorite, so it felt pretty good.
This class is not like others of just staying in the classroom.
I think the best part about the class is that they get to go off campus and spend time with children and get to see what it's really like in that classroom setting.
At the end of the day, students, just like teachers, are hopeful of making a difference for the better. For Bulldog TV, I'm Brenda.
If you're interested in signing up for this program, make sure to go to room 102.
Springdale High School is full of award-winning teams, and one of them is cheer. Hugo and Alfredo took some time to talk with the girls before they left for their trip to the National Cheerleading Championship.
Springdale High School is full of school spirit, especially when it comes to our cheerleaders. And all of the cheerleaders have worked extremely hard to get to where they are now.
To get into nationals, you have to score like a certain score at state to even get a bid to go to nationals.
To be a part of the championship in nationals, we had to overcome a bunch of injuries, and we also have to pay a bunch of money that we've been fundraising since July of last year. And we have to rework the routine and just have to overcome all of that.
Well, we were required to get a certain score at state to get a bid to go, and we had to do that with a couple of our girls out injured. So the fact that we did it with that still going on was impressive.
All of the cheerleaders have worked extremely hard to get to where they are now.
One of the biggest struggles was probably losing our 2 best flyers and tumblers, and that kind of cost us at state, and becoming a team too after that.
Some struggles we faced this year was losing 2 girls before state due to injuries. We had to rework the entire routine in a week, and I think that's the biggest struggle we've had.
As the saying goes, practice always makes perfect.
For the competition, we prepare by just practicing and just repetition and hitting our stunts and being dedicated and staying healthy, and yeah.
We're preparing for the competition by having 6:30 practices and 7 o'clock, and just conditioning and working hard.
To get ready for competition, we practice at least 3 mornings early at 6:30, and then the other mornings at 7 or 7:30, and then on Sundays as well from 2 to 5.
You always have to be prepared and expect the unexpected.
Hopefully we make it to finals, and I know we're going to do really good, and this is our first time going, but I think we have a chance at going to finals.
For the competition, we expect to just go and try our best. We're not expecting to win, but we just want to go out there and enjoy ourselves and do their team to the best of our ability.
Our expectations for nationals are to make finals. It's a 2-round deal, so like on the first day semifinals, and the second day you get a call back to finals. So we're hoping to make finals, and we'd like to place in the top 3. We're just really excited to go because it'll be the first time in school history that Springdale Cheer has ever been represented at nationals.
1, 2, 3, nationals! Yeah!
I was gonna say it should come on during your club. If you're in a club, you may not see it, but it should come on during your club activity time.
From Bulldog TV, I'm Alfredo.
Congratulations to our Bulldog cheerleaders who came 3rd place in nationals. Congratulations to our Bulldog cheerleaders who came 3rd place in nationals.
It's amazing what you can find out when you do an experiment. Evelyn and Manuel show us an experiment in Mr. Stewart's classroom.
Teachers are always looking for ways to help their students learn.
Well, what I like about this experiment was, as a teacher, what I try to do is think about what's the hardest stuff for kids to understand, what's the most confusing things that I teach, and then I say, what could I do to help them? And for me, the way I learn is to get my hands on things. So if I'm working with things and I'm moving stuff around and I'm talking about it at the same time, for some reason it clicks in my brain. So I sat down and I thought, what could I do to represent the mitochondria of the cell, and then each specific part of the mitochondria, how could that be represented in this model, which would allow students to walk through the process. And I think when you watch the video, you're going to see a lot of interaction between myself and them, trying to figure out what all this stuff is and what it does.
Doing experiments can always make learning fun.
Well, actually a lot went into planning this, because I had to figure out how to make a model that was representational of the mitochondria. Even having things like this membrane here that was a really important part of the process, and figuring out how to get the board here to stand up, because the mitochondrial membrane kind of sits down inside this and stands up straight. So just the logistics of making it work took a lot of thought, and then I got to figure out every little thing that I can represent, like finding the A, just going and rounding this up and getting a whole bunch of A's for coenzyme A, or the pop beads were pretty easy to come by, but figuring out how that an egg carton would make a great electron transport chain, or a cheese grater would make a great Krebs cycle. And so trying to figure out things that would represent with authenticity what they were doing inside the mitochondria was a challenge.
The process of planning experiments isn't easy for your teachers.
The greatest thing about it is that it allows kids to teach kids. Because I show them the model and I work through it with them a couple of times, and I have them interactively discuss what's going on at what point. But then they get to do it. And they get to take things like, inside here you couldn't see this, but these are my electron carriers, NADH and FADH2. And so they can take the actual electrons and they can put them inside the carriers, and they can move the electrons from inside the mitochondrial membrane to where they belong, and then hand that over to the electron transport chain. So it's very interactive, and I think that things that are interactive, what gets kids hands-on stuff and manipulating that stuff around, I think builds bridges and connections in their brain that makes learning a lot easier.
Mr. Stewart does what he can to make learning easier for you.
Okay, so this experiment is cellular respiration. It's a fundamental concept that we've got to teach in biology. This class is International Baccalaureate Biology, so it's kind of biology at a higher level of thinking. And this is the process of how the body will take a sugar called glucose and break that down to ultimately make ATP.
Everyone prefers to do experiments rather than worksheets. So thank your teachers for planning these experiments. For Bulldog TV, I'm Manuel.
That's all the Bulldog TV we have for you today. I'm Ivette.
And I'm Raul. Stay classy, Springdale.